So Arpit, how big is your penis?
Actually, I would rather answer it like how short my penis is. I would say it's girthy. Girthy. It's girthy.
What matters is girth.
What matters is the self-confidence to give head.
My first question to you is, do you ever find yourself being nervous when you walk into random groups of people at random places?
मैं क्यों अपनी बहन चो गाथा बताऊं जबरदस्ती की जी मैंने बड़ी मेहनत करी है, मैंने सीखा है, मैं आज के लिए कर रहा हूँ, मैं सीधा मुझे क्या है।
भाई साहब, आपका एक ग्रुप तो है पॉडकास्टर वाला, एक है एंटी पॉडकास्टर। क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कहानी से लाओ दारू लाओ।
और क्या भाई।
Yeah, I definitely do get nervous while entering a group.
अबे जल्दी बोल, कल सुबह पनवेल निकलना है।
Yeah, I definitely do get nervous while entering a group. I used to feel that in school, in college. Now it's a little less, but still, like, it depends on the group.
I think that ship has long sailed.
What do you mean? What do you mean it has long sailed?
No. Who I talk to, they feel nervous much more.
ऐसा क्या करता है बहनचोद तू?
भाई अब ऐसे इतने रैंडम शिट ऊपर आ जाता है, अब क्या करूं मैं?
क्या मतलब?
They're like, what games do you play? And I'm like, I can play badminton and I can play you.
You ended up being with that girl afterwards, though.
Whatever it did, I was like, this can work. That was the reaction. All the time, that was my only reaction.
Is it more that when you walk into groups with women, attractive women, or groups with high status men, do you find yourself more nervous? Like, what is it?
I have no problem around the highest status man. I have no problem at all. It could be even a goddamn celebrity.
उसमें मेरा क्या फायदा? मुझे क्या मिल रहा है?
I feel like कि जैसी लड़कियां आ जाती हैं कॉन्वर्सेशन में, है ना, एंड एक हल्का से एकदम से माइंड में क्लिक होता है कि राइट नाउ आई कांट बी मी, आई हैव टू लाइक और भाई क्या चल रहा है, सब सही।
With girls, it's not that tough. Like, I've figured out that the most really good-looking women are really insecure.
So
If you know that, it becomes much easier.
मैंने देखा है तेरे में, और मैं और लोगों को भी जानता हूँ, बट तेरे में एक स्पेशल बात है कि तू ना, जैसे हम बहुत ट्रैवल किया है साथ में ब्रो, इंटरनेशनल नेशनल सब, राइट? तू एक बस ड्राइवर से लेके एक कॉर्पोरेट सीईओ तक सबसे बात कर सकता है। तेरे को कोई उसमें बहन जो मत खा 5 मिनट,
Sorry.
बट उस पे तेरा वो क्या है, लाइक हाउ डू यू डू दैट?
टेम्पलेट होता है। बेसिकली सीन क्या है कि देखो, राजा से लेके रंग की हर 3-4 बातें होती है। राजा से सारी जनरेशनल वेल्थ वाली बातें करो कि आप कौन सी जिन पीना पसंद करते हो, क्या ये सब आपको भापना होता है, ठीक है। अब जो थोड़ा गरीब आदमी, आप उससे बात करोगे कि भाई आपका रोजगार कैसे चल रहा है, आप थोड़ा ऐसे, यू विल बिहेव मोर लाइक अ नॉन आउट ऑफ टाउनर, ठीक है। तो आसान होता है। टेम्पलेट्स वो, और जो उनके स्पेसिफिक वर्ड्स होते हैं। और हाँ, पेट्रोनाइज मत करो, ना राजा को करो ना उसको करो।
अभी तो ये इंडिविजुअल हो गए, सपोज ये झुंड में है, ठीक है। सपोज तू एक पार्टी में घुसा है, वहाँ एक झुंड में बड़े बड़े से कुछ लोग लग रहे हैं, उनके आसपास बेहतरीन सुंदर लड़कियां हैं, ठीक है। सब मतलब समझ रहा है, एक हाई एंड इनसाइड दिल्ली सीन है, छतरपुर में या सेंट्रल दिल्ली में। And now you just walked in, now you want to talk to this group. What do you do?
भाई मेरा ऐसा रहता है कि पार्टीज में आप बस दारू के पास खड़े रहो, हो जाती है भाई कि मतलब,
और भाई क्या पी रहे हो,
या फिर सही में कॉन्वर्सेशन स्टार्ट करनी है, भले ही लोगों में करनी है, उल्टा दो वैन की चूत उल्टी कर दी, क्या हो जाएगा, लोग तो कर रहे हैं बात। बन गए लाइफ ऑफ द पार्टी भाई, हम ही ये जो है भाई, उल्टा दिया भाई। कर लो भाई,
सब मेरे बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, अब मैं हो गया ना लाइफ का पार्टी।
होगा भाई, अब क्या चल रहा है भाई।
I want to have 2 conversations. 1, let's get drinks, let's have some fun. 2, I want to talk to hot chicks. That's it. I don't want to talk to anyone else.
अपना पैसा लेके जाए यहाँ से, हॉट बंदी भेज, चल जा यहाँ से वाले अपना पैसा लेके। Is there a tip you would tell people to avoid when trying to talk to random groups of people. ये मत करना, बाकी सब ठीक है.
Worst thing that people can do is shadily kind of use their body and slightly sneak in. If you enter by introducing yourself. I don't care if they're having a conversation that is like life-changing or they're talking about nuclear war or like what someone is wearing. Break it completely and announce your arrival. But ऐसे मत करो कि चुपचाप से ऐसे आगे मैं भी हूँ, because it's the most
creepy.
cuckold way to enter.
Bro, what is a cuckold?
Bro, a cuckold is someone who likes to watch his woman get fucked by another dude. है ना?
देखो भाई, मेरे हिसाब से ना, मेरे को ना उन लोगों से भी दिक्कत आती है जो जिन लोगों की ना ईगो पे आ जाता है कि किसी भी पार्टी में जाना है तो नहीं, बहन की चूत आज तो सोशलाइज करेंगे. क्यों करना है? डोंट ट्राई टू फोर्स इट एंड ट्राई टू ऑलवेज हैव दैट स्वैग कि मतलब है ना, दिस इज मी भाई. यस,
What's up?
हाँ जी, यस भाई, हम ऐसे ही हैं.
हम पे तो है ही नो.
Bro, but पता है क्या, मेरे को ऐसा लगता है सच में, जैसे जो क्वेश्चन है ना, how to handle groups, I think I am made to answer that question.
Exactly. I think the reason, from what I've seen, certainly like you are a different person when you socialize, and certainly I'm a different person. I pick my battles very carefully. You are there to fight properly. You don't fear hostility.
I am the hostile one.
वो power struggle, हाँ, वो power struggle हो रहा है constantly. तो you're pushing it so hard कि या तो बंदा दबी जाए, अगर वो है, उसका कुछ कैरेक्टर है, तो वो बाहर आके he has to talk it out, he has to show it, he has to prove it.
Right.
तो बहुत अच्छा वो है, it weeds the right people out,
Yeah.
it weeds the wrong people out, right people अंदर है सिर्फ conversation में.
Yep. Okay, now that you've heard the cuckold talk, let's have the master give you advice on how to talk to groups, dude. First of all, we'll begin understanding the social map of a group. We'll begin asking ourselves the question, what is really happening underneath the appearances as far as a group setting is concerned, right? The second thing we'll do is I'll give you my lines, I'll give you my formula for entering a group that does not fail. The third thing we'll do is we'll talk about what happens once you enter the group. How can you play it after that? The fourth thing is going to be how do you settle into a group? Because that's where people fuck up, right? People don't understand, okay, sure, I accidentally entered a group. I kind of figured out what to do from there, but now how do I stay in the group? And finally, we'll resolve ourselves to some FAQs, some questions that pop up in people's heads, some things that they're still concurrently worried about, and so on and so forth, and we'll solve them. Okay, good to go? Let's begin. Number one, what does a group want? As we discuss the social map, we have to understand what does a group want and what it does not want. So, what a group does not want, they do not want to meet somebody creepy. It begs the question, what is a creep? We'll arrive at it, stay together. Number two, they don't want someone to come and disturb them. By disturb, it means you disturb their flow, their emotional flow, the way things are working. And number three, they do not want somebody who comes in and messes up their internal politics. All groups have internal politics. All groups are organized on a power structure. If you notice very carefully, you'll see if a group is hanging out, there is one person who has all the authority, who's running the show. He's the one who's speaking everything. Everybody else is laughing, reacting, whatever, right? And nobody wants the internal politics disturbed. People have this subconscious mechanism by which they filter out people who disturb the internal politics. Okay, what does a group want? Well, a group wants somebody who gives more than somebody who takes more. The net balance that a group wants is give me more than take more from me. And that's true for all people, by the way. People want people who share, not people who take. People who take, red flags. People stay away from them. Number two, people want somebody who contributes. And by contribution, this is something people instinctively understand. Contribution is, okay, this is the topic of discussion, or this is the adventure this group is on. How does somebody bring value to the table? Number three, a group wants somebody who supports the group dynamics. This is the direct opposite of somebody who does not messes up group politics. It's the exact opposite. Somebody who understands intuitively what the dynamics of the groups are and fits into it. If you challenge the hierarchy too hard, depending on where you are and who you are, it might mess up your interaction with the group. Okay? Get these 6 points down, understand this so we can move forward. Now, what do you do when you enter a group? First of all, and this is very important, come with the same energy as them. Because you might be meeting a group in an auditorium right before a show is about to start, or at a bar where there's music and it's loud. And if you're in an auditorium and a group is hush-hush talking and you go, yo, they're going to be like, who's this weirdo? Or if you're at a bar and a group is talking loudly over the music and you go in and you're like, hi, not going to work. because they won't even hear you. You have to see where you're at. You have to see what energy they're at. Add +2 points and go in with that. That's the most helpful. At best, match their energy. If you can do better, make it +2, because +2 allows you to be heard. It allows you to influence and invade that space. Clear? The second thing you want is you want to go in, thinking in the back of your head, repeating to yourself in the back of your head, I'm here to give, I'm here to share. If you're able to do that, you will not make what I commonly call the validation face or the needy face. And this is the place where people make tremendous errors. They'll go to somebody, be like, hi, and wait for them to react. Or they'll crack a joke and then look at everybody to react. That's the validation face. That's the face that's asking from other people their energy, their emotions. Doesn't work. People notice that, people are like, you, walk away. Right? So you go in with intent and content. We discussed this at length, including my strategies, including how you can do this in Art of Conversation. There's a whole module on intent plus content. Right? This is what you do. Your content in your head, you know I'm happy, I've got enough. I'm here to share, I'm here to get to know you. Right? That's how you walk in. You walk in with the energy. Got it? Okay. The next step you do is you enter with a compliment or a reason, because people need reasons, right? That's the problem. There is no reason. I don't know how to enter this. You enter with a reason and you make that reason such that they cannot say no to it. This is expert level stuff. It sounds very simple. It sounds kind of dumb, but it works. Walk into a group of loud people. Walk into them. Be like, looks like you guys are having so much fun. I just want to say hi. Right? And they can't say, no, we are not having fun, bro. Nobody wants to say that. If they're talking and having an intense conversation, dude, you guys look like you're having the most interesting conversation here. What's your name? You walk in with that kind of stuff. They can't say no to the premise, so they can't say no to the offer. You're successfully in. Best case scenario, they let you in. They're like, yo, what's up? What's your name? Worst case scenario, they show some resistance. They have like, they make a face, they frown, or, like, what does he want kind of a face. If they do that, if you find or you feel resistance, add what I call a false time constraint. Say something like, oh, I'm just waiting for my friend. I'll be gone in 2 minutes. I just want to say hi. So they know in the back of their head, this guy is not going to come here and disturb us for a very long time. And this false time constraint, oh, I was just going to the bathroom. I just want to say hi. Just this false time constraint relaxes them, eases them. Now you can begin the conversation. The third thing you do is introduce yourself to everybody. Say hi, my name is this, my name is this, my name is this. Hi, my name is Prakhar. Hi, my name is Prakhar. Hi, my name is Prakhar. And add to it randomly a couple of compliments or remarks. So I'll say, hi, my name is Prakhar. The other person will be like, hi, my name is Ansh. Hi, my name is Prakhar. The other person is going to say, hi, my name is Kunal. Kunal, nice sweater, by the way. Hi, my name is Prakhar. Hi, my name is this. Dude, I like the shoes you're wearing. I like your style. Whatever. Because what that does is it tells them you are willing to play by their rules. You are here to support the group dynamics. You're here to contribute, not take. That's it. If you manage these 4 steps, walking in with energy and contentment, walking in with contentment and energy, walking in with intent, contentment and energy. If you manage that, 1. 2, if you're able to open with something as simple as, you guys look like you're having so much fun, I just wanted to say hi. 3, if they give you resistance, add false time constraint. And 4, introduce yourself and use that moment to provide instead of take. Don't say hi and wait for them to shake your hand. Hi, my name is Prakhar. Nice sweater, by the way. Nice shoes. Dumb, simple compliments that communicate on the level of signaling that you're with them. Got it? From here, this is where the tricky part begins. From here, you have 3 options. You can either be the guy who leads the group now. Tough to do, needs a lot of things to happen, but possible. 2, you can be the silent participatory guy. I stay silent, I hang out with this group, I mix in it, I meld together, I somehow find a way to not appear too sharply. Let's just put it like that. Right? And 3, you can be a guy who kind of participates in his own way, but largely just, hangs around and has fun. So the first one is a loud one, leads the group. The second one is a silent one, follows the group. The third one is a mix of 2, where he leads in a couple of moments and then stays silent for the rest of it. I like to mess with the third one. But let's analyze all these three archetypes. Number one, the guy who leads usually has stronger reputation, usually has something about him that allows him to dominate. Now, me as a 27-year-old, if I walk into a group of 12-year-olds, I lead. That's a very obvious dumb example. But in the same way, if Elon Musk walks in here or Joe Rogan walks in here and you're sitting with your friends and they decide to throw in a topic randomly, you let them lead because their status speaks so. Their reputation speaks for itself. So you can lead using raw charisma, which is a practiced art. You can lead using your status or your reputation or your position or any of those things. But what you do when you want to lead is say something like, after the first introductory steps, you say something like, so here's what I was thinking. After you're done introducing, say, so here's what I was thinking, and follow it up with what you were thinking. Allows you to lead instantly. The second one is a participatory one, right? Generally silent. And the trouble with people being purely participatory is that people think they have to say something to appear contributive. It's a common misconception people have, that saying something means socializing, not being there, not providing emotion. And we cover the emotional part of the social map at length in our video about introverts and socializing. You can go check it out. But for the second one, the silent one, it's so much more easier to execute. You don't have to do too much. You just have to introduce, show up, and then hang around and contribute in the jokes and the stories and everything else everybody's doing by smiling or encouraging. You nod, you smile, you encourage. You say, that was fun, dude. That sounds crazy, bro. Oh my God, for real? That's the only amount of contribution you make, and it works. They like you. You're not a threat. You're not disturbing internal politics. You're here to give. You're not here to take. All of the boxes are checked. The third one is a little trickier, and this is my personal favorite. This is how I like to get into groups. I'll go in with a banger. Hi, what's up? You guys look great. Whatever is up. And from there, slowly, I will wait for only the perfect opportunities to speak. I will not spend my social capital on everything I want to say. I will wait for the moment where I know I'll be the funniest, or I'll be the most intellectual, or the most standout. And in only 3 to 5 of those moments over like an hour, I will contribute. Everything else will be encouragement, smiling, and nodding. I play with you. That's it. And that allows me to build solid reputation over a period of time with that friend group. Now, the funny part was when I was researching this video and I was thinking of how to explain these ideas to you, I came across 2 of my live streams or pieces of content where this is illustrated perfectly. The first one is, I think, a COB finale. I might be forgetting. It's either a Comedians on Board finale or one of those live streams on Samar's channel where there's everybody's there. Just everybody. It's like 20 people on there. And I'm only beginning to get recognized on the scene. So what I do is, ignoring everything else, I try to speak too much. I try to dominate. I try to put my opinion forward. I try to put my vibe in there. And very quickly I realize nobody's going to pay attention. So I switch from character 1, which is the one that says I will lead. I figure out I cannot lead this group with raw charisma. I move to character 2, smile, participate, nod, encourage. That's it. That's it. I move to that very quickly and it's visible. If my editors and if somebody finds a link, post that in the comments. Then there is relationship advice with Ronak. I recently did relationship advice. And I did not know how to truly play a comedy show. But when I walked in there, I realized I'm on the stage with Ashish, Kaniz and Ronak. All 3 of which are friends. All 3 of which know each other. I am the odd one out. And I knew instantly here I cannot play the dominating one because my humor won't fit the group that these 3 guys have. The vibe that these 3 guys have. The internal politics that their socialization has built for them. So I stayed silent for the most part, except 2 or 3 places where I knew my jokes would work. And those are the places that created the impact. Beyond that, smiled, participated, nodded, encouraged. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's funny as fuck. Like whatever. That's how you manage it. Because I just met them. I had no social credit with them. I had no social capital with them. I had not spent any time with them. I'd spoken to them on texts a couple of times, but that's it. This is how I built myself in. And now, hopefully, unless Ashish, Kaniz or Ronak watch this and don't want to be friends with me, hopefully I can be friends with all of them. I'm pretty sure the next time I'm in Bombay, I'll hit up Ronak and do another one of those episodes. So, those are 2 good examples you can look at. Finally, having said that, my G's, Having said that, how to be part of the social group. Now, you've understood how to enter, you've understood how to play along. The third one is how to cement your position in there. Good question. Part one of cementing yourself in the group is understanding that you can only be part of a group if you have social capital with the group, if you have social credit with that group. And the way you build social credit is one of two ways. One, you either share experiences with them. Look, bro, this is a group that's been together for at least a few months if they're sitting here, right? They've known each other, they've done things together. You've just walked in. You will never be the same as everybody else, at least not right now. What needs to happen is that you need to spend some time with them. You need to hang out with them. You need to participate in their jokes and their adventures. So, one of the best things you can do the first time you enter a group is speak little, enjoy with everybody, stick around, and eventually have a second hangout. And by the time you hit the third or the fourth hangout, you're comfortable. You're throwing your shit everywhere. They accept you, you accept them. They feel like you're a part of the group. So, number one, in terms of earning social capital, is spending more time with them. Number two is making friends with individuals in that group. Now, this is a very fun one because very often what happens in a group of 5 or 6 or 7 people is that 1 or 2 people control the vibe. They're the ones talking, they're the ones joking, they're the ones telling stories, everybody else is laughing. This is the general outlook of any friend group ever in all ages across the world. That's great because while these 2 people talk and have fun, the other 5 or 6 people are completely bored, waiting their turn, sitting on the side, including you. Here is an opportunity for you to make friends with all the side fellows. Turn to the person sitting next to you, be like, hi, so how do you know these guys? Like, how did you become friends with them? Oh, nice, very cool, right? And then say something about yourself, add something from your experience, and keep the ball rolling. When you build individual connections, what you build in this case is called social proof. The next time you get invited to this group purely because you're friends with this side fellow more. Works like a charm, right? And this also solves the problem where people don't know once they enter groups how to make connections with individual people. Use the opportunity where everybody else is having fun to make friends with everybody on the side. It's strategically the best way to go about doing it. However, I don't know how much this strategy is going to suit you. Because some people are like, is it really that strategic? Not really, but I'm helping people who get stuck with this stuff. For most people, play it by your heart, dude. It works out smooth, you know? Anyway, another question that comes up is, how do I contribute? How do I contribute to the group? The first thing I say to that is, don't just smile, nod, and encourage. The first few times, that's the best way to go about doing it. To actually contribute, you need some ability to hold attention, some ability to tell stories, and honestly, some ability to face conflict. Because very often, the most common mistake you'll make in a group is you will interrupt somebody who you're not supposed to interrupt. That's their internal politics. And what happens is that becomes a point of conflict. You dare challenge my position. And unless you can handle it, the first couple of times, play it cool, bro, play it easy. The third time, make the cap, right? The third time, make it capitalized. But in case you have to, here are a few lines that I use that you can use and work 10 on 10. Okay. Number one is, here is what I was thinking of. Right? So as soon as there's a small moment, be like, here is what I was thinking of, and then add your thought. Number two is, this is what that reminded me of. Like, here is what this reminded me of, and related to your experience. So I'll be here and I'll meet somebody from Jamaica telling me how it was like where people on the beach were smoking weed, right? Like in Jamaica or whatever. I'll be like, here's what this reminds me of. Kasol, dude, there's this spot in India. Ba 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 ba. Tells the story. Works. Number 3, and this is something I've learned from a friend recently. This friend of mine starts every conversation, everything he says with funny story. And it's not even funny most of the times. He just says funny story and walks into his story. Works like a charm. People know he's going to tell a story, so they're more patient. But the general formula is you have to snap and take attention. Be like, yo, Prakhar, Ansh, yo, I have a story to tell. That's effectively what you're doing. The words can be different. The words can be this too, trust me, but the words can be whatever. This is what you're trying to do. Stop people, capture their attention, bring it on yourself, and then contribute. That's it, right? And then tell your story. Finally, here is a few questions that people have about this common troubles that people go through with this stuff. Number 1 is, people think they need to speak something to be contributive. People get hung up on the idea and they mix up being liked with being rememberable, right? You don't need to speak to be contributive. I have a whole video on this when I do the introvert wala thing, right? There's a whole video on how you understand people's social maps and use them, right? You just need to give great emotions to people. People don't remember you for what you say. People remember you for how you make them feel. And to make people feel something, you don't necessarily have something to say. The trouble begins when you get hung up in your head about having to say something. That's the point of trouble. You're like, oh, I have to say something, and then you embarrass yourself. However, if you want to say something, remember what you can say, how long you can say. All of those things depend on your social credit. How long have you hung around with them? How long have you encouraged their games? How long have you adapted to the politics of this circle? If you've adapted long enough, you can do whatever you want. They'll be okay with it, roughly speaking. Okay? Number 2, people are worried about being creepy, or they get in their head about being creepy, or sometimes they are creepy. Right? What is creepy and how to avoid being creepy? Creepy is when you have something you want, but you don't say it. Or your behavior says you want something, but you don't say it. That's creepy. I can tell you 1,000 different stories about guys trying out something and ended up being creepy. And the singular reason is they don't speak their intent. They don't wear their intent on their arm right here. They don't make it obvious why they're here. So when you open with something like, you guys look like you're having so much fun, I just want to say hi. You've made it clear, I'm here because I want to share the fun. Now, as opposed to this, if you just try to sneak in by just laughing at some rando's joke into their group, they're going to be like, why is he here? That's the question that makes you creepy. So say it first. I'm here because you guys look fun and I want to give you more fun. And when people get stuck in their head about being creepy, they don't truly engage with their social settings as much. So avoid that. Wear your intent on your arm. Number 3 is people don't know how to build individual connections. And I think that's the easiest part in a group. You never speak to a crowd. You always speak to individuals. When you speak to people, when you speak to a group also, you notice some people and you look them in the eye. Those people you're building individual connections with. When everybody else is busy doing something, take somebody, be like, hey, you want to come get a drink? Yo, so what's your story? And now you have a conversation going. And finally, this is the most tricky part, is people do not necessarily approach these groups of people randomly because they're like, but what is the reason to talk to them? And I cover this a lot in Don't Shut Up. Don't Shut Up is my book, by the way, for those who do not know. Wait 1 second. This is a book I wrote for Gen Z and millennials on how to talk to people, how to not shut up and make it work, right? And there is a whole chapter in here on talking to strangers, and we talk about the problem of premise. If there is a premise, people find it very easy to talk. You are my classmate, I'll find it easy to talk. You are my papa's friend's son, I'll find it easy to talk. There is premise. You are here eating dinner at our place. But when there is no premise, when it's like, I randomly meet this group of people who I find interesting, but there is no premise, how do I talk? And this is largely a mindset issue. You have to understand, people follow your lead in social settings. People do exactly as it looks like they should do. Right? So when you lead a conversation, when you walk in and you announce yourself and you pretend like it's completely normal, people pretend like it's completely normal. When people see you have this jovial premise, you guys are so fun, man. I want to say hi. What's up? They think it's completely normal for a person to do that too. You have to know that half the world meets each other on completely random premises. They're just unplanned. You can actually manufacture this shit and amp up your social game by 10x in a day. Just give them a compliment they cannot say no to. That's it. That's it. It works brilliantly well. Well, having said that, if you're interested in this and more, you know the drill, art of conversation. We've been talking about this for a very long time. On the other side, if you're an introvert and you still find yourself shy and interacting to people, we have a whole video for you guys. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Why aren't you thinking straight, bro? What are you doing ignoring us? Number 3, if you want to learn how to date better, I know my team is planning some surprises. They'll put a link somewhere. And I will see you on the other side this weekend.